Shane here again from Grape TV, and thank you for joining me in my bar to help me spread McLaren Vale wines to the world. Today, unusually, I'm doing the same winery as I did my previous video, which is Thorpe Wines. The reason I've done that is because I've enjoyed their wines so much, and they're relatively unknown and about to try to break into more of the Australian market. So this is a bit of a plug and a help for those guys as well. And thirdly, one of the wines we're going to try today is their sparkling Shiraz, which I absolutely adore. Good sparkling Shiraz, and I tried this one a little while ago and was quite impressed, so I wanted to share it with you. But first of all, we will try the Thorpe Wines Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon 2008. The reason behind, or the optionality of the Reserve comes through that if the wine is of good enough quality, they'll put it down the Reserve route, and there's actually some Reserve Shiraz soon to be on its way, in line with the Reserve, the plain, not plain, very good wine, plain Shiraz that we showed last video. In 2008, they only made enough Cabernet Sauvignon wine to either do a normal wine or a reserve wine. They felt it was good enough quality to put a reserve label on it. So let's try it. Looking forward to it. So this wine's been open for a day or two with the screw cap on, but no, not with air evacuated or anything from it. And the wine is certainly opened up nicely in terms of the aromas. So getting some raspberries, hint of blueberries, and remember the last video I mentioned about the people from the winery talking about an iodine aroma coming through, and we're certainly getting a background sort of iodine, slight chemical, slight earthy nose to it. And unlike what I got when I first opened the wine, there was you could smell like sweet fruit. Now I know you can't smell sweet, but that was the sort of aromas, or what the only way I felt I could describe it. That's quite lingering. The cedary notes on the side of the mouth, certainly not overpowering in terms of the rest of the wine. There's the blueberries, blackberries coming through, and there's a spiciness, herbiness, maybe rosemary coming through. Definitely rosemary. This wine is retailing for $25 a bottle, and I think to have a reserve wine at $25 a bottle is really good for us, the consumer, that is. And I could certainly see people enjoying that out there. So if you get a chance, that's definitely a wine that I would consider for my palate. What you'd have with this, well, it's not a light wine, but it's certainly not the big, bold, gutsy wine, and it's certainly not a fruit bomb either. Well, that was interesting. I actually wanted to show you taking the cork out of that wine, and it just did it for me. That was the sparkling Shiraz. I had it with the cage off, ready to open, and it's just opened itself. So this wine, just let me check on my notes. I got this down at $25 a bottle. I'm using these glasses, not a champagne glass, so I can get my nose in there and really smell it as best as I can. First thing it hits you is a bit of a raspberry type aroma, but there's plenty of earthiness, a bit of mushroom compost in there, quite complex. There's plenty of bead there. Probably can't see that with the frosted glass because I did take this out of the fridge not long ago, so it's still very cold. Hope it's not too cold for the palate. Now the first thing is not an overly sweet wine. A sparkling Shiraz can be made into quite a sweet wine. This is certainly not that. Hint of raspberries, blackberries, plums, all melded in there nicely. It's got a very silky feel over the tongue, and you know, I believe it's a pleasure to drink. In fact, I'm going to have some and I'm not going to spit it out. There's a bit of spiciness, maybe the sour anise that we saw in the Shiraz that I reviewed in the last video. But that, my friends, is sensational. So I don't think I showed you the label. It's the 2006 Thorpe Wine Sparkling Shiraz. It was disgorged in 2009, so it's a full proper Method Champenoise wine. The looking after the wine after the original making, so the riddling, the adding the liqueur, putting everything on is done in Victoria, so it's not a cheap style. I've got written down here $25 a bottle. For some reason I think it's actually potentially retailing more, but I've certainly got 25 written here. If it is different, I'll make a note of it in the comments for the video. That is a lovely wine, silky smooth. The bubbles, the fact that it's not overly sweet, lets all those characters come through, so you get a full appreciation of the wine. I think a lot of sparkling reds are made that are just overly sweet, and all you get is the sweetness. You get very little of the rest of the fruit and the wood characters and everything else coming through. This is certainly an excellent wine. Absolutely rate this quite highly. Look, for sparkling reds, sparkling Shiraz in particular, it's very hard to go past turkey with cranberry sauce as an accompaniment. The cranberry sauce, working with the turkey, fits so perfectly with this wine, with the berries and everything else. It's just a sensational mix. I'll also say that I've actually drunk sparkling red just on my own, and I know 2 grand finals ago, AFL grand finals ago, I sat down with a bottle of sparkling red and drank that while watching the first half of the footy. And I'll let you into a little secret. I slept for the most of the third quarter after drinking that bottle too, but I did enjoy that. But I think this one's more of a food wine. Yeah, turkey, cranberry sauce, and this, you can't get much better than that. So after the scare of this self-opening, I'm glad it didn't go everywhere and make a mess on my bar. But a sensational couple of wines from Thorpe Wines here in McLaren Vale, and I hope you enjoyed it. So that's all the time we have for Grape TV today.